Hi, I'm Simeon Robson, and this is Just the Basics. This is the third video in the series. If you want to check out the previous two and you haven't already, you can do. This one is going to be all about scales. So if you haven't seen the previous two, they were about tuning, finger positioning was the first one, and warm exercises was the second one. So if you need to go back to any of that, feel free. But if not, let's get right on with the scales. Now, learning these scales is really it's an important part. Any musician for any instrument should really be learning their scales. It took me a few years to learn my scales after I'd started playing the bass. I was just playing along with pre-existing songs, just using tabs. So I didn't really know my scales at all. But once I learned them, I found out how helpful they were, and I wish I'd learned them earlier, because I realised that they did help a lot. And so I would definitely recommend learning them as soon as you can. So if you want to, that's what this video is all about. Hopefully I can teach you the scales that you need to know. So the two main scales that you have, which you'll definitely need, the major and the minor scale. Okay, so we'll start with the major scale, and I'll take you through it in C major, because in C major, that's on the piano, it's all of the white keys, none of the black keys. So it's C, D, E, F, G, A and B. When you're playing the scales, you can finish, or you can finish, especially if you're doing the warm-up exercises. You finish again on the starting note, an octave higher. So we'll be playing C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, so one important thing to remember is, once you've learned the scales, if you use them as a warm-up exercise, not only will you be training your fingers more effectively and warming up before you play, you'll also be memorising your scales at the same time. So therefore, you're doing both at once, killing two birds with one stone. So highly recommended that your warm-up exercises involve some sort of scale work if you can, because that way your practicing is just the same as your warm-up, and for your scales anyway, and then it's less things to worry about, and you're learning more at once. So that's fantastic. Okay, so I'll teach you the major scale here, and we'll start with C major, as I say. So, 3rd fret on the A string here, that's the C. Okay, so you want to play that with your middle finger, okay, because you want your hand to rest over these 4 frets. Okay, so you got your 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, and 4th fret, and 5th fret. So on the A string, you want to play the C, and then you want to use your middle finger to go up to the D. So that's just middle finger to little finger there. Okay, C to D, and then you want to jump up onto the D string and play the 2nd fret on the D string, which is an E, and play that with your index finger. So, okay. Then your next note from that, you want to use your middle finger again, move that up a string, but keep it on the same fret, it's on the 3rd fret, so it's on the D string instead, which makes an F. Okay, so right. Then after you've got that, little finger, again just move it up one string on the 5th fret, that's for the G note. Okay, and then you want to use your index finger again, up here onto the G string, the last string here, on the 2nd fret to create the A note. Okay, then the last note before the C again is you want to use your ring finger for the first time here. It's the only time you use it. If you're just playing through the major scale once. And the note here is B. Okay. Then to finish off, just the C note, 1 fret above that, so little finger. 5th fret. So that's the full scale, let's play through that. Okay, so that's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, so that's your major scale, and that applies to anywhere on the neck. So if you were to move up to say D major, it's exactly the same thing, but just your starting note is different. So you want the 5th fret on the A string if you're just quickly going to play D major, so it's exactly the same finger positioning. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you are on the neck, you'll always have your fingers in the same position. So if you can remember just the order that your fingers need to play in, so it's if you remember that you're crossing 4 frets, and you remember middle finger, little finger, index finger, middle finger, little finger, index finger, ring finger, middle finger. Okay, so your fingers, it sounds complicated, but your fingers will get used to it, and then once you've learned it and you learn the order that you need to play the strings in, it's very easy. Then you've learned your scale there, and it just becomes a lot more natural to you. So you'll instantly pick it up and you'll know what you're doing, and you won't have to think about it. So when you're doing your warm-up exercises, you're just practicing that. It just helps with that a lot. So that's your major scale. Okay, the minor scale is a little bit more of an more of an easy pattern, but you don't use your middle finger at all for the minor scale. Okay, so if we go A minor, because that's again it's the one without any black keys on a piano, so it's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay, so you want your index finger on the 5th fret of the E string for the A note. Then you want your ring finger to come onto the 3rd fret here. Sorry, the 7th fret here. Okay, so that's the B there, and then then your little finger just goes up here to the 8th fret. Okay, so it's index finger, ring finger, middle finger. Now you want to do that exactly the same again on the string above that. So index finger straight up onto there, which is the 5th fret on the A string, which is a D. So that same pattern. So that's A, B, C, D, E, F, and to finish, use the first 2 notes of that same pattern again on the next string up. Okay, so very simple pattern. Don't use your middle finger at all. So it's just, if you can remember it, index finger, ring finger, little finger, index, ring, middle, index, ring. That's full pattern. So that's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay, so they're your 2 main scales that you'll be using. Most of the songs that you'll be playing to would be in the major scale or the minor scale. There are slight differences if you want to check into things like the harmonic minor and the melodic minor, and things like that. There's modes as well, but for now just stick with these 2 scales. That will cover a lot of things that you'll need to do. If you want to play along to certain songs and you know the key, you know that you've got all these notes to use, and you'll know which notes should work where, so that should help a lot. So for the warm-up exercises, you want to play through the scales, and you can just play them forwards then backwards, just really simple. So if you start with the C major and just play through it one way, then play back through it the other way. Okay, so you would have okay, do that again, do it really slow, so it's as you might have noticed, the major scale is Do, Re, Mi. So if you're getting stuck and you're not quite sure if you're playing the right notes or not, just think of do re mi, and it should be exactly the same notes as that. So that should help you to learn the right notes for that. So if you want to just keep playing through that as a warm exercise, you can do. So it would just be. And then you can even take that and move it up. So let's say if you were to move up to a D major after that, so you could go. Then you can move it up again to an E major. Do that wherever you want across the strings. Just remember your finger positioning is exactly the same, so if you remember that all your fingers need to go in, then you'll be sorted for the scales across the entire fretboard. Okay, so you can do the same for the minor as a warm-up exercise. So if we start in the A minor, let's do that really slowly. Okay, so you can just do that, and then you can move it up again. So you could go from A minor to B minor, C minor, sort of thing. So just like this. Okay, so that's very useful, just for the warm-up sort of thing, and it's also helping you to practice your scales. I would definitely recommend learning your scales when you can. Hopefully this video has taught you how to do that, and hopefully I've gone over in enough detail and slowly enough for everyone to understand. If you do need more help with scales, or you want to look into more scales, there's plenty of resources out there to find out how to learn how to remember your scales and things, but I would just recommend getting the basic grip of them and then using them as warm-up exercises so that you're warming up and practicing your scales at the same time. And then before too long, you'll find that the scales come really naturally to you. You know exactly where your fingers should be on the fretboard for your scales, and then once you've done that, then you're well on your way to learning the bass guitar. So thanks very much for watching. There's going to be more videos to come. The next one, I'm going to detail different styles of how to play the bass guitar. So I've been playing fingerstyle so far for the past 3 videos, but I'm going to look at, well, I will still look at fingerstyle, but I'll look at also how a pick style as well, and slap style. Okay, so if you're interested in that, please feel free to check on the next video, and thank you very much for watching again. Thanks very much.